First, I want to thank everyone for joining us here today, especially those of you who traveled. I want to thank Father Paulson for the beautiful homily and Jennifer and Susan for the lovely music. Your being here all means a lot to Mom and to all of us and the family. So thank you for being here. I want to quickly read a note from Dad's cousin Jane, who was very eloquent and was unable to be here today. She wrote this directly to Sandro, and it says a lot of what we feel about him. It reads, "Dear Sandro, by now you are resting in the most brilliant and well-deserved place of grace and abundant life. While you were here with your family and friends, we were blessed with great wisdom and kindness. The sound of your voice created peace and confidence and comfort. You were a brilliant physician who healed and inspired many. As my devoted cousin, you were the through line for me to find what true love looked and felt like. Back in the 1960s, Luigi and Harriet invited the Marshall family to the house in San Francisco to announce your engagement to Mary. As we gathered in the living room for dessert, I saw you and Mary get up and quietly walk out into the hallway near where I was sitting. You just wanted to gaze endlessly at Mary, and at that moment, I saw what true love could look like. Your love was born from the greater good which never ends. Now you are reaping your reward for a magnificent and well-orchestrated life journey as a physician, loving father, son, brother, spouse, and cousin. I am comforted still in knowing your starlight soul is playing music in the halls of heaven. With great love and gratitude, Janie." So about Dad, he had a hook shot that was difficult to defend. He taught us how to fish. He taught me how to replace the windows I kept breaking. He taught us to take pride in our work. He liked sweets a lot. He loved to tell stories. He adored Mom. What a team they were in raising 5 kids in places all around the country, wherever his work brought us. Even in his last days, he wanted to call Mom all the time. He taught us to love music, dancing around the house to Creedence Clearwater's Green River, Midnight Special, or Willie and the Poor Boys, or Johnny Cash, or Steppenwolf, Fleetwood Mac, or Louis Prima singing Chalaluna, and on. Dad loved music. He played guitar with his brother. What a gift we had to see them together. And their grandchildren took up music after them. And his fishing stories and other stories about Piero and how much he meant to him, and how darn tough Piero was. Were special. It was so fun to grow up listening to Dad, Piero, and their no-no kid each other in Italian. They would call each other testadura, hardhead, or testone, and say things like petinetti and vacanza, little idiot is on vacation, when one of them would screw up. Or mangi taci, shut up and eat. They and we had so much fun together. Cars. Dad had 2 XK150 Jaguars, a black one and a white one, and a Cadillac with a 472 cubic inch engine, an MG, a Corvair. Even the station wagon we had was cool. The Dodge Coronet we called Betsy. Then there's the day when we lived in Dublin, California in 1972, when he came home with a yellow and black striped 340 Dodge Demon with a Hirsch shifter and fiberglass shaker hood. What a surprise, and the car was awesome. Just ask my brother Phil. And driving on trips, Who would bring a family of 7 in an F-150 pickup with a truck bed top, pulling a tent trailer through Mexico, all the way down to where our Nono was teaching a university summer program at the University of Guadalajara? Dad and Mom would. We blew 3 tires on the trip. We had no air conditioning in the back where the 5 kids dwelled. We stayed in places like Culiacan and Guaymas and had a wonderful, unforgettable trip. Dad was always a busy man right up until his final days. No moss grew under his feet. He worked at work, he worked at home, completing needed projects. He worked so hard as a doctor, caring for people when we were growing up, that he was often not home. But later we would hear from those he cared for about what he had done for them and how he was loved by coworkers, and we knew how important he was to everyone. He loved to fish, but as he got older, he'd always choose projects over fishing. And sorry, Dad, but that's just not right. He used to shout our names with joy when we'd come in the door, and it would make us happy. He loved his family very much. We miss him a lot. Dad, may you be with family and your dog Jigger catching big trout on a fly rod or wahoo in the happy fishing grounds of heaven.